Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Nathan Payne.
This is Corey Roysum, and today we're talking about a big 78K deal that we just closed.
Yep.
We're going to talk about how we got it, the lead source, how we negotiated it with the seller, how we found a buyer for it, and how we got that big spread in the middle of our deal.
Yeah, that's a whale. So the purpose of these videos is to help you figure out, from our experiences, how you can get those big spreads.
Yeah, we want to help you guys out.
That's our goal. So don't forget, this video is brought to you by Investor Thrive, investorthrive.com. It's a business dedicated to helping real estate professionals not only succeed in their businesses, but also in their personal lives. So give them a shot, check them out, investorthrive.com. And please don't forget to hit the bell icon, like and subscribe this channel so we can grow this community and help more people like you make 78K whales. That's the goal. Thanks again for tuning into the video. I'm here with my business partner, Corey Roysum.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
And today, like I said, we're going to break down our $78,000 wholesale fee that we just got, and to kind of help you guys understand, how we got the deal. Were we lucky? Was it skill? Just kind of break it down so you guys can take this information and apply it to your businesses. So Corey's going to just ask me some questions about it. So let's get into it.
Yeah, so to start off, where did this deal come from?
Right, good question. So it came from one of our marketing channels from our online leads. So right now we're running, pay-per-click, online ads, Facebook. So this came from one of our online lead sources.
Gotcha. Okay, and so tell me just a little bit about the conversation you had with the seller. How did it go?
That's a good question. So at first it came to our leads manager, Jared. So we have a leads manager. He takes all the incoming leads. So the lead came in. Jared talked to him, asked the basic questions like, what's got you thinking about selling? What's your timeline? And then Jared, if they pass a certain criteria, he transfers them over to me. So he transferred this lead over to me. And
was it a live transfer, or you set an appointment for you?
It was a live transfer, but it wasn't a live transfer because I was on the other phone with another seller. So I just said, hey Jared, I'm not available, I'll call him in a little bit. So Jared told the guy I would call him when I got off the phone. So as soon as I got the phone, didn't know it was like that hot or anything, but I called him after I got the phone, and I talked to the seller, and basically I found out he wanted to sell a house that his son lived in. It was a property, he's just getting older, so he just wanted to sell his assets, and he was like, hey look, I know this property's got a lot of issues, and he told me Zillow, he's like, Zillow says it's worth $400,000, but I know it's not worth that because it needs a ton of work. And he sent me a bunch of information. We had a good long conversation, but this seller was realistic. He knew the property wasn't worth that much.
Gotcha.
Because it needed a lot of work.
Gotcha. So how did the negotiation go? So you talked to him about the property. He knew it wasn't worth as much as Zillow said,
right?
Which is obviously, you're off to a good start with that.
Yeah.
But how did you arrive at a price? How did you know what to offer? What did you end up offering?
So I like to have the seller kind of name their price first before I throw one out, because I probably would have been around higher than what he initially wanted. So he was like, look, I don't really need the money. I have a business. I just want to get rid of this property, and I don't want to have to think about it. I was like, well, what are you looking to get for it? And he said, I'll take $245,000. And mind you, the property needed a lot of work, but it's probably worth around $400,000 fixed. So right then, you don't need to put that in a deal analyzer or calculator. You knew that's a deal, right?
Right, yeah.
So I was like, okay, but I didn't lose my cool or oh yeah, I can do that immediately. I just said,
you don't
okay.
want to jump the gun.
You don't want to jump the gun. You don't want to make them, feel like, oh shoot, maybe I can ask for more, or maybe I should go with someone else or check a bunch of different people. So when he said 245, I said, yeah, I'm not sure if we can do that, but I'd have to definitely crunch my numbers and check with my underwriter and see if we can get approved to pay that much. So that's I can't remember your question. What were you saying?
Just how did you arrive at your offer?
Oh yeah. So
what did you offer?
So how did I write my offer? I asked him what he wanted. I knew what he wanted was reasonable, but I've been doing this long enough to know that you just don't give people that are what they want, or they're going to feel like they can get more money, or they're going to want to ask more people. So I just said,
feel like money's been left on the table.
Yeah, they feel like money's been left on the table. So I just said, hey, let me go check. Let me go check with my underwriter.
Gotcha. Okay, so then you go check with the underwriter, you call them back, and...
Yeah, so then I called them back, and again, you never give someone what they're asking. So I just said, you know what, I went to my underwriter, I crunched the numbers, and we'd feel more comfortable at 235. I know you're 245, but 235 is probably where we'd like to be, considering, the pictures that you sent me, all the work that needs to be done, and, all the stuff that needs to be worked on. So 235. So then he came back and was like, no, I'll just go with someone else. And I didn't want to lose the deal. Obviously, it's a deal at 245. So I said, well, hold on, before you go, we're really interested. And that's just what my underwriter approved. That's not like, obviously we can wiggle a little bit. So I said to him, what offer, if, I can get it approved, would you say yes to right now? And he said, if you can do 240, we got a deal. So I said, all right, let me check. I got a little bit of, a pull in this business, and I know that, we're not going to lose a deal over $5,000. Let's do it. We got a deal. So then he said, yeah, let me go check with my daughter real quick, and just make sure she's okay with the decision. And then I was like, ooh.
Yeah, it's always
always
be a problem.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's fine. He was a pretty cool guy. I said, yeah, when do you think? So whenever someone gives me an objection, I want a timeline. So I want to be like, yeah, that's totally fine. You don't want to be like, don't check with anyone. I said, yeah, that's fine. When do you think you'll be able to talk to her and you can give me an answer? Just because I talked to underwriting, we set the money aside. We want to just know when you're going to make a decision. He said, I'll talk to her in the next hour. So then I called him after an hour. And he said she was cool with it, and then I sent him the agreement, walked him through it on the phone, read the whole thing with him, and he signed it, and that's pretty much how we did the negotiating and got that done.
That timeline of giving him basically an hour is pretty helpful, it sounds like.
Yeah, I asked him how much time before that you can talk to her, so I know when to follow up, and he gave me that time, right? So
because if you just tell him, don't check with anyone, it's probably pretty awkward, right?
No, you never want to tell. You always want to bring out the objections and then kind of figure it out with them. Like, okay, well, what do we do from here? Like, what are we going to do together? This is not a forced sale ever. Like, no, you're not going to force someone to sell you their home.
Yeah.
So you got to work with them. So that's how we work on it.
Make a quick, hasty decision.
No, so yeah, talk to whoever you need to. If he would have came back and said, she thinks we need more, we would have had a different discussion. But still, it's never done. It's never over.
Yeah. So it sounds like you use the underwriter a lot to kind of, I guess, negotiate the deal, and explain a little more about why it's helpful to use the underwriter.
Yeah, so it just helps you, have a little bit more leverage in the conversation. If you're the one making decisions on the price, they're going to feel, I guess the conversation in my opinion won't be that good compared to hey, let me check. I'm fighting for you. I'm on your team. I'm trying to get you the best offer. So let's say I said 235. He's like, no. And, it was just easier for me to be instead of me being the one making the offer and being like, well, can you do this? It would have been awkward. Instead, I was like, well, I could go check, if we can do more, what would you say? And it just it came from a different angle, and it seemed to be, it's been working for us pretty well. So if you're not the one making the decisions, you're able to be on their side a little bit more and work stuff out.
Okay, so you got it under contract, 240, and tell us a little bit about the Dispo process and kind of what happened after we got it under contract.
Yeah, pretty simple. We sent it over to the Dispo team. Dispo team blasted it out, had a walkthrough. He had a son that was living in there that needed to vacate the property, so that was kind of we had to tiptoe around that, figure all that out, but we were able to get some investors to walk through, had 3 or 4 offers come in, and then we picked the best one, assigned the property to him, and it was, we just had to wait till close 45 days after he signed.
Yeah, it was a super hot deal. Dispo was pretty excited about it. I think we assigned it within a couple hours after getting it.
Yeah. So my question to you that most people have is how did we get around the buyer being like concerned about how big the wholesale fee was?
So a lot of times with buyers, the way to kind of mitigate that, I guess, risk of them seeing the wholesale fee and getting upset and wanting to either renegotiate or just walk away from the deal. The biggest key is to have other options and to like let them know that, hey, this is not our only option. We have other people, kind of say like, hey, we're going to make quite a bit on this. Is that going to be an issue for you? And if it is an issue, we'll take it to someone else. We have quite a few people that are interested in it. So if it's an issue for you, I totally get that. We can go another route. And of course, like as soon as they hear that, it's not an issue for them. So having competition with your buyers, making sure that you get as many offers as possible on the table is the way to do that.
Cool. Yeah, so it's kind of
yeah, so I guess to kind of sum up the deal, online lead, negotiated the deal pretty well. Luckily, the seller was already in a ballpark that worked for us. That was a good deal for us.
That doesn't always happen, right?
That's typically how you're going to get your biggest deals. You're not going to negotiate, hundreds of thousands of dollars down, typically to, make big fees. Typically they're going to be in a range where you're going to make a big fee.
Yeah, and this is a guy who's like, I've been pretty successful in my life. I'm getting older. I'm just trying to sell my assets. You could tell he was just like trying to just get it done.
Yeah, he honestly had other things on his mind. Like he was having like medical issues at the time too. So, and he was worried about getting his son out. The actual selling of the house was the kind of the least of his worries at the time. So just wanted an easy, convenient solution.
Yeah. And when you think about what we do, we provide a service. We provide a service of convenience, speed, and convenience and speed, right? Like you're not going to call
an easy transaction.
You're not going to get a wholesale deal for someone that doesn't need to sell quickly and wants top dollar. It's just they don't need us, right? So you got to know who your audience is, and it's people that want convenience, speed, and easy transaction. And just like when you take a car in. If you want to sell your used car, you can put it on Craigslist. You can sell it on Facebook. I mean, you can take all the time you want, or you can just go to the dealership and they'll give you a lower price, but it's easy.
Yeah.
So we are those people that provide the easy route.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else to add about the deal, or?
No, man. So just kind of let you guys know, 78K is one of our biggest deals we've done. So this is not something that happens every week, every day, every month. Like we're not making this video to say like, hey, this happens all the time. We're just showing you that it does happen. You do get whales occasionally, but our normal assignment fee is like 17,000. What is it?
15
to 17. That's like our average. So yeah, this isn't to make you guys feel like, hey, this happens all the time. But know that they are out there. The more you work, the more you're going to get. The more volume you do, the bigger deals you're going to get. So keep your head up. If you're struggling, we've been at this for a while, and things are clicking. So Investor Thrive, we've created kind of like a coaching mentorship to kind of help you. We've done tons of coaching from Jerry Norton, Alex Youngblood, Sean Terry. Like coaching is helpful if you need someone to walk you through stuff. So we're trying to give back to and help out. So check us out.
We created this platform to come in and provide. Help you guys get going, kind of give you, a blueprint of how the business is supposed to be run, and get you off the ground and get you lots of deals.
Yeah, tons of ways to get deals. I mean, we've got deals from knocking, flyering, cold calling, networking. I mean, you can do anything to get a deal.
Any way you can think of, we've done a deal that way. So
you just got to do it. You got to be consistent and work hard every day. So anyway, thanks for coming to the video, checking us out. Check out investorthrive.com if you want to look at how we're helping wholesalers and investors grow, and check out more videos. But thanks for coming.
See you guys.